Hello friends, and welcome to Gardening with Creekside. Today we have got some great specials to offer you. Whether you're looking to do some online shopping or you are coming here to the nursery, we have got some great ones for you. First of all, let's hit the ones that are online. It is now November, and November of course is famous for Thanksgiving and all the delicious foods that are associated with Thanksgiving. So we thought it would be kind of fun to be a little cheeky here this week and offer all two spices 30% off online. So November, baking, spices, they all go together, right? So we have the Spice Baby Korean viburnum that is going to be 30% off. This is a great viburnum if you are looking for spring color and fragrance. This is going to be a little bit more heat tolerant, right? This is going to be heat tolerant up to a zone 8. So this is easily something that I can add to my North Carolina garden here, but this is going to be a nice compact. It's not going to be massive. Yes, it's going to be in that like 4 to 5 foot range, but if you're familiar with some of the viburnums, like they can get 6, 8, 10 feet tall. Spice Baby, given its little name, is going to be more petite, gorgeous foliage, right? Beautiful flowers, great fragrance. You're going to get some fall interest with that foliage. Then we have Illuminati Spice. This is a mock orange. So those of you that are in a little bit of a cooler zones, I think it's like hardy in zones of 4 to 7. Mock oranges sometimes struggle here in the South because we are a little warm and toasty in those summer months, but Illuminati Spice is going to be a great 4x4 mock orange. And if you're familiar with mock oranges, again, beautiful white flowers with a lovely, delicious, heavy fragrance that is going to bring not only color and beauty to your garden, but that sensory of that beautiful fragrance as well. Again, a 4x4. If you're familiar with those mock oranges, to know a mock orange is to love one. Unfortunately, here in the South, we kind of struggle a little bit. So both of those are going to be 30% off. Go to the website. You don't need to have a coupon code. It is going to already be marked down for you. So shop now. We are going to have amazing deals in November and December. The only way that you're going to know about those online deals is if you sign up for our email and or text messaging. You can do that right there on the website. I'll put a link in the video description for you. But if you are looking to maybe score some great deals for yourself in your garden, and or you've got a gardener in your life that you want to surprise them with some great options. Not only plants, but hard goods and all sorts of really great deals headed your way. The only way you're going to know about them is if you're part of that marketing with the email and the SMS. So sign up so that you do not miss these amazing deals. November and December are going to be jam-packed with lots of fun specials. So we don't want you to miss out on that.
Those ship now.
And yes, the Korean Spice Baby and the Illuminati Spice, those are going to ship right now. So if you are wanting those, they will ship now. We're not going to hold those and ship them in the spring. We are still here in North Carolina. We can ship plants. I mean, y'all, it's like, what is it, 70 something today? Like it doesn't feel like November here. So those will absolutely ship. So if you can take delivery of them and you're not already covered in snow, because I know some parts of the country already have had snow, which blows my mind, those plants will ship ASAP. So just know that if you order them now, we're going to send them to you now. And any shrub that we have, right? So if you order shrubs, that they are going to come to you now. Now, let's focus for those sweet people who are going to be coming here to the nursery. All perennials here at the nursery are 25% off. So it does not matter what the perennial is, it is automatically going to be 25% off. So we're going to go through and look at some of the fun things that we have. Of course, we're standing here in the greenhouse. Cece's done an amazing job of displaying, as she always does, our plants. And so like we have options for you Basically, our perennials are either, we have some that are going to be in quarts, and then we have some, the vast majority of them are going to be in gallons. If you've been around me for any length of time, you know that I love this Everbrillo Carex. It is a beautiful, evergreen, shade-loving, part sun-loving Carex grass that has gorgeous chartreuse color. It does amazing in containers, the landscape. It is a beautiful plant, and I have it in multiple areas of my garden. We've got eucharas. So eucharas are a great option, again, for a container or a landscape. These are going to be evergreen. So even in the winter, like with the dressed up ball gown, you're going to keep that chartreuse color. Pair ball gown with this absolutely stunning Primo Wild Rose Euchra, right? These are both from Proven Winners. Gorgeous, y'all. The purple on this is unbelievable. Just beautiful. Another Carex that I love, now this is going to be in a little bit of a bigger container, right? This is Feather Falls. I love this plant. This is a beautiful variegated Carex. I have it in containers and I have it in the landscape, y'all. Evergreen for your part shade garden. This one, it can take like half day sun in the morning, give it a break in the afternoon. If you put it in the landscape in a little bit of a damp area, it just explodes. I have one in that kind of situation and it is stunning. So you've got that. Another Euchra, of course, this is still part of that dressed up series. This is Evening Gown. Dark foliage on it, near black foliage. Depending on where you live, the tags will say sun to shade. Here in the South, it does best if you can give it a break in the afternoon. Absolutely, these can take morning sun, but not the hot, intense afternoon sun. Another one that is throughout my gardens, autumn ferns. Autumn ferns, evergreen foliage for your shade garden. So many times in our shade gardens, we think of plants perennials that are herbaceous and they die back, like hostas, right? A lot of the ferns. Well, autumn fern is one of those that's going to be an evergreen and give you interest and structure year round. This is a stunning plant, low maintenance. Once it's established, it can be drought tolerant, so yay for that. Yeah, I mean, you've got different kinds of ferns. Here we have, this is a Japanese beach fern, gorgeous foliage on that as well. This will get nice and big. You've got your, the tractor seat plants. We did this in the water trough. Y'all, look at that. Gorgeous. Absolutely stunning. A lot of people were talking about how they see these in Charleston. Right now, what they're doing are the yellow flowers. So it's not the camellia. It is the tractor seat plant does those gorgeous yellow flowers. This is the time of year that they're going to bloom. The rest of the season, you're going to get that great evergreen foliage for your shade garden. Now, we did pull some of the quart perennials and we brought them down here to the nursery. These are ones that had been originally like slated for online and we brought them down. So if you are looking for example, spun silk, right? This is the amazing daisies from Proven Winners. We have them in quarts. We also have daisies available in gallons, but some people just like to have that quart size because it's a smaller hole that you have to dig. So we have got several options for you. So we've got, this is spun, let me see if these are all spun silk, but these are stunning, like still spun silk, but that is a massive plant, y'all. This would be gorgeous. Go ahead and stick it in your garden. We've got the black-eyed Susans, right? So yes, they're done with their blooms. A lot of times we leave the old heads on here. That's why we've done that, because the birds love to come and eat these seed heads. This particular one, again, is in the quartz. This is the American Gold Rush. We love black-eyed Susans because they bloom later on in the season. They're drought tolerant. They tend to be more rabbit deer resistant because they're a little furry and scratchy on there, but great for your full sun garden. We have a little bit of the chartreuse on the loose, a great nepeta from our friends at Walter's Gardens. You get this chartreuse color with these really pretty lavender flowers. Nepeta, right? A catmint, has a nice minty, herbaceous smell to it. Love that. the new coreopsis. This is the golden threads. You've got, oh my gosh, y'all, if you are looking for a beautiful, low maintenance, it is an evergreen perennial. This is Alexander's White. This is a candy tuft. Oh dear heavens, I have got this in the forest pansy bed, and y'all, this thing blooms its head off for weeks upon weeks upon weeks. It is considered a full sun perennial. It really is a ground cover. It only gets a little bit of height to it, but it spreads out, not invasive. Stunning. This is great candy tuft. You need to get it. If you don't get it, then I'm going to grab a bunch of it and put it back in my garden, because I only have a couple of little plants that I love and adore. We actually have some hostas, proven winter hostas. You got Diamond Lake, Sound of Music, that are in those great quart size containers, y'all. And the root system on this is very vigorous, like I can feel. So go ahead, this is a perfect time to get your hostas in the ground. We have a whole section full of hostas. Also, dianthus, this is the funky fuchsia, and then we have a couple of the crested surf, also available fern that is in a quart. So all the perennials are 25% off. Now, of course, you still have all of your beautiful shrubs, right? So if you're looking to redo your landscape, right, talking about those shade gardens, I mean, look at this combo right here. You have got the Florida Sunshine Alyssum, the Chindo Viburnums, and then the Royal Flush Shishi Camellias. Gorgeous evergreen landscape for that shadier area in your garden. Come in and mix some perennials in there. This is like an easy peasy, low maintenance, you've got this kind of landscape. So shrubs, still an amazing time to go ahead and get those in the ground. So you've got all sorts of items down here that if you need help with your landscape, just let us know. We do ask, if you're coming to the nursery and you are redesigning a flower bed, if you can please take pictures of that space from different angles and have an idea of how big the space is, right? Because we are visual people and we want to make sure that we make great recommendations for you. So lots of pictures and your basic measurements. It's 4 feet deep and 15 feet long, and then have an idea about your sun, especially the summer sun, right? What does the sun do in July and August? And we can help you that way. But y'all, talking about the perennials, now of course out here in the pergola, these are going to be your sun-loving perennials, right? Our shade-loving perennials are in the pines, but like this is the penstemon, right? This is the Midnight Masquerade, a beautiful, great spring blooming perennial that's going to give you these tall shoots of like a lavender flower on them. For me, this is a semi-evergreen, so even in the wintertime, I still have a little bit of my mat, so I know where my plants are. So we have those. My favorite perennial salvia, this is the Pink Profusion. It is a gorgeous one. We have that American Gold Rush, that same Black-eyed Susan we were talking about. Well, these are in gallons. So if you said, well, I don't want a quart, I want to have a gallon, look at that. I mean, that is a very vigorous, healthy plant. This was one of our top sellers in the spring. This is the Clematis from Proven Winners. This is the Stand By Me Pink. And the Stand By Me Pink is relatively new to the market. You can, give it some support and it will go up, but if you don't want to, you don't have to. It can be kind of like a little bit of a shrub. This did well for me. It is hardy up to zones 3 to 7, but we had it in the signature garden, and we had these growing on the black plastic, and they did great. So this is one of those things where you just have to kind of play around with it. That's our job. And the Stand By Me Pink did really well. So beautiful, soft pink, bell-shaped flowers, stunning plant. Great vigor on this. And then, of course, the ever popular Serendipity alliums, right? So you're going to plant some onions in your yard, y'all. This is a deer resistant, rabbit resistant, because it is an allium. So when you crush it, it smells like, green onions. If you're looking to attract pollinators to your garden, this is the plant. Nice purple ball-shaped flowers on it, stunning. Your pollinators go nuts over this plant. You've got the denim and lace, you've got coreopsis, all the grasses. So these are all grasses that do really well here for us, whether it's the panicums, like you've got Apache Rose, we've got some schizoceriums, Niagara Falls, the Cheyenne Sky. All of these do really well, and you can see they're not dying, they're not dead, right? There's nothing wrong with them. This is their fall interest. This is why we like to have them. This is Cheyenne Sky. It is turning that fall hues to it. It is a gorgeous plant, and they all do some sort of like little plumes, right? So you're going to get some plumes off of them. And I think that, yeah, this is Lemon Squeeze, which is a really fun chartreuse one. Let's hit these right quick. Phloxes. If you are looking to incorporate phloxes, I just did some in the cottage garden with the ultraviolet, right? So we've got the ultraviolet. If you don't want that, maybe you have like a moon garden. Well, then you would want backlight. Backlight is going to be a gorgeous pure white bloom. So maybe you don't like those hot bold colors. Maybe you want a pure white one. This is going to be bring some like upright habit to your garden. Full sun, loves it. You've got the pink of the opalescence. We've got prismatic pink. So we've got tons of phloxes for you, y'all. Perfect time to get these in the ground. And then Boom Chocolata. Boom Chocolata is always a very popular plant. This is a hardy geranium. Goes in that full sun, dark foliage on it, and then those really pretty lavender purple flowers are great. The cat's pajamas. Everybody loves cat's pajamas. That is another nepeta that your pollinators go nuts over. Now, let's head over to the pines because we've got a whole nother selection of shade-loving perennials over there. We actually got some rain yesterday, so things are kind of nice and damp, which is quite lovely. All right, so over here in the pines, these are going to be your more shade-loving plants, right? So if you've watched us for any length of time that Jerry and I have this thing about the hostas. I want all the hostas. Jerry's like, stop buying hostas, woman. But in my opinion, one can never have too many hostas in the garden. So basically, we have got a ton of hostas. Now, when you come either to Creekside or to your local garden center, you could see a hosta like this. This one is Guacamole, which is a fantastic, beautiful hosta, right? So you may see something that looks like this. You can see exactly what it looks like. It's really pretty. There's not any like damage to it. Or you could come and you could see this guy. This is Island Breeze. And you're like, why in the world would I buy a dead plant? It's not dead, my sweet friends. This is already going dormant. This is what your hostas are going to do. Different hostas will go dormant at different times. Island Breeze obviously goes a little earlier than Guacamole. This is you're thinking about the root system. Very healthy plant is just simply going dormant. So just keep that in mind when you are shopping. Pair those hostas, right, with some hydrangeas. If you're in the South, now is the time to plant your hydrangeas. If you get the ones that are reblooming, this is a Let's Dance. I don't know exactly which one this is because it was not labeled. That's why I went ahead and planted it. But y'all, this is that reblooming Macrophylla hydrangea. Look. These were the blooms that when I planted it, this is what they look like, right? I mean, they were blooming, they were gorgeous. So this is an example of the old growth. It blooms on the old growth and it blooms on the new growth. In fact, we still have another bud coming out right here. So if you are looking to add hydrangeas to your garden, now is the time to do it. Let's not do it in July and August. They're gonna struggle. So keep that in mind. Also, I know this, Jerry, bless his heart, he has to keep up with me. We get asked about this plant every spring because it's right here on the edge of the dry creek bed. Solomon seal. Now, again, you may look at this right now and you're like, well, it doesn't look so good. Y'all, as gardeners, we have to sometimes imagine what it's going to be, not what's right in front of you. Again, the foliage is going to go away. In fact, you can already see what my foliage looks like right here. Like it's completely gone, right? So that is not a problem. It is going dormant. It is not dead. It is November. So this is what it's going to look like. Those little sticks just pop right out of the ground. A beautiful, variegated, arching habit to it, and in early spring, y'all, it has the pure white bell-shaped flowers that hang underneath. Right here, it is stunning. They will naturalize. They're not invasive whatsoever. That clump you were just looking at has been there probably for like 4 years, right? So they slowly spread. You are going to love this plant. People ask about it all the time, especially when they see it in our little colonies here. So we have those available also that are that 25% off. More ones that we have, right? So you've got your astilbe. This is dark side of the moon. Again, don't freak out if they look rough. It's okay. Your astilbes, I'm surprised they look this good even in November, because a lot of times in the summertime, they'll start to go dormant. So we've got different kinds of astilbes. Those ferns I was talking about, my Ascot rainbow. I adore Ascot rainbow. This is great for winter interest. This is a beautiful, nice variegated foliage to it. Very soft, has kind of a musky scent to it. You're going to love this. Evergreen, brings height to those gardens. I mean, hostas galore, y'all. There are hostas everywhere. We've got different kinds of ferns, you name it, but all of those perennials, every perennial here at the nursery is at 25% off. So come see us Wednesdays through Saturday. People have started to ask about like how long we're going to be open throughout the season. We're going to be open at least through like mid-December. It will kind of depend on the weather and how everything goes, but just know that we will be closed the week of Thanksgiving. So we are going to take time with us. Our employees are going to spend time with their family. So the week of Thanksgiving, we will be closed. That's the only week we're going to be closed. And then we'll be open probably through mid-December. Once we nail that down, of course, we'll let you know. But other than the week of Thanksgiving, we're continuing to be open. So it is a great time to plant perennials and shrubs and trees. I keep harping on that over and over and over again because it is true. So y'all come see us. Y'all have an amazing day. Don't forget to shop the spices that are on sale online. We'll see you in the next video. Bye, friends.